This
But
is Jonathan Agnew of Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by former three-weight world champion Duke Mckenzie. Duke, only spoke to you week and a half ago, but good to speak to you again after a crazy week of boxing. First off, Duke Box, your channel on YouTube, you put out some stuff for the Shakur and Teo fight, where you were kind of showing people how each man could win the fight. Obviously, I think people can obviously go on Jukebox and check it out. But did you enjoy doing all of that?
you know, I absolutely loved it. It's a lot of fun when I can sort of step out of the shoes, but also step back into the shoes and try to give the public a professional opinion on how I think the fight's going to go. So when you look at that fight, it was so good. I don't know anybody. I haven't spoken to anybody that hasn't said to me it wasn't a good fight, or it was boring, or it was just for purists, because it wasn't. That was like a maestro performance. I mean, I don't get them all right, and I didn't get this one right because I picked Lopez to win, as you know. But the performance that Shakur Stevenson gave, it reminded me of the late great Pernell Whitaker. He boxed. He was challenging for the IBF lightweight world title against Jose Luis Ramirez I think it was in Paris. That was promoted by the Akaris brothers. I was ringside for that night. I haven't seen a pure boxing performance as good as that since then. Because Whitaker boxed Ramirez's head off with one hand. And what you just saw there with Shakur Stevenson, he boxed Teofimo Lopez off, his head off, with one hand. That jab, the worst kind of style to fight in boxing is a southpaw with an excellent jab. You're not going to beat that. I don't know anybody that does, to be honest with you. He was so calm about everything. Shakur Stevenson, I got nothing but praise for him. I mean, listen, I didn't think he would win because I didn't think he hit hard enough. But what he proved in that fight was it's not about power. It's about skill. It's about technique. It's about ring generalship, and it's about knowing how to and when to. And every now and again, he pulled the trigger with that straight left or that left uppercut. Every time he threw it, it was like Lopez didn't. It's like Lopez didn't have a clue. It's like he didn't know what to do. It's like he didn't know how to fight a southpaw. Now, I thought the blueprint had been laid because Lopez has boxed southpaws before. He beat the great Lomachenko, right? It was a southpaw. He beat him. However, this just goes to show, styles make fights. What and he couldn't beat this particular southpaw. If they fought 100 times over, he wouldn't beat Shakur Stevenson because like I say, what Stevenson done was so simplistic. It was so majestic. It was just like I say, he was just like an artist painting on his picture, and he did that. He won that at a canter.
Yeah, very dominant. Obviously, a lot of people have been commenting on the corner work from Teofimo Lopez Senior. Obviously, the cameras were picking up. He was saying, you've got to hit him, and a lot of people were saying, well, he wasn't really giving him great advice in the corner. Do you think that played a factor, or do you think any advice wouldn't have been enough to beat Shakur?
Well, we can look at that two ways. First of all, sometimes I think fathers in their sons' corners in fights is never really a good thing because when it comes to a fight like this, you can't really talk with a clear boxing head. You talk with an emotional head. So most of the comments I think the dad was giving were wrong. Personally, that's just my again that's just my opinion. And you can't start saying to your son you're going to hate yourself in the morning. He was hating himself during the fight. It ain't going to take till the morning before he realised things weren't going his way. I mean, I've always been taught I boxed enough southpaws in my career to. I was born with southpaws. My elder brother Dudley was a southpaw. Clinton, my older brother, British and European champion, world ranked, he was a southpaw. I sparred many, many rounds with my brothers. I've also beaten southpaws in world title fights. When I won my first world title against Rolando Bohol, and when I won my third world title against Jesse Benavidez, another southpaw. I've always been taught against southpaws, you got to keep moving round to your left to take the southpaw left hand away from them, and you can jab over their jab and hopefully hit them with your straight right down the middle. That's what I was taught. It worked for me, but what Lopez was doing, I don't know what he was doing, to be honest with you. He was jumping in, he was leaning in, everything he tried, Stevenson had an answer for. And he made him look so amateurish, and he was so embarrassed at the end of the fight because he never landed. I don't think he landed one clean shot to Stevenson's head where it had any kind of an effect. He said that he tried body shots. He was trying one or two body shots, but everything he tried, nothing worked. I really thought he would find an answer to Stevenson the way he did Lomachenko. But again, this isn't Lomachenko. This is a young, fresh, hungry, classy, well-educated. You can throw all of them superlatives into the hat for Shakur Stevenson. It really was a masterclass in pure boxing.
Who beats Shakur, in your opinion? Is there anyone out there you think can beat him?
Well, there's two ways to answer that fight. Firstly, I don't want to look for anybody to beat him because I'd love to see that time and time and time again. It was such a great performance. I was a pure boxer in my own career. I'm not a puncher. I'm not a grappler. I never used to hold and swing guys around and headbutt. I could headbutt. I was good at that. But I like to box. As you know, if you watch any of my fights, I'm a pure boxer. So I like to see that kind of performance. In my eyes, in that weight division, there's only one fight that's going to give him a good fight. There's only one fighter who even stands a chance of beating him. And see, Gary Antoine Russell, him, that guy, that I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it because, you know, that guy's got the class. He's got the power. He's improving all the time, just like Shakur Stevenson. You know, he's a champion in his own right. So let's hope they get a unification series going on, right? You know, throw Dalton Smith into that equation, throw the other champion into that equation. You got that 10-stone division right now has to be the best division on the planet. The 10-stone, the light welterweight division, or the junior welterweights, as the Americans like to call it. That has to be the toughest division right now worldwide because all the champions are good. There's not a soft touch in there. Each champion brings something to the table. So let's just hope they get Turk El Sheikh or somebody like that throws a bucket load of money at that weight division and they get a unification series going on because we'll have to strap ourselves in because that's going to be one hell of a ride.
Now, Shakur's first call out was for someone in the 147-pound division or someone who's going to come down to 47, which is Conor Benn. Your TalkSport colleague, I guess, Simon Jordan, said it was ridiculous that Conor Benn was sort of getting in the ring and they were having a back and forth. I will make the point that Shakur did call out Conor to get in the ring or, you know, things like that. What's your thoughts on, the whole Benn and Stevenson going back and forth?
Well, you know what? It's good for the sport because it puts eyes on the prize, right? Now, the first thing Shakur Stevenson said to Conor Benn was, let's have a rehydration clause the same way he did against Eubank. Mm-hmm. Would he do that? Because what he will find then, Conor Benn, what he would find then is that he would be in the same position as Eubank. He's going to struggle to make that weight. Hasn't boxed at 147 for, 3 years, maybe longer now, right? So, I would be shocked if he can actually make that weight. Then if he makes the weight, it's not just about making the weight, it's about staying strong at that weight over the duration of the fight. Can he do that? So again, what you're looking at is you're looking at a master craftsman in Shakur Stevenson. And if you look at what he said, another thing he said to Ben was, I'm a businessman. So from a business perspective, it's a good fight because for whatever the reason, Ben brings a lot of eyes to the sport of boxing, right? His dad was his father's son. So there's an attraction in the Ben name. So he brings a lot of eyes to the prize of boxing. So if he fights Shakur Stevenson, it's not going to end well for him. Styles make fights. And Shakur Stevenson's fight, stylistically, is tailor-made to be an aggressive fighter like Conor Benn, who likes to come forward. He's tailor-made for Shakur Stevenson.
Uh, Anyone else on the card you want to sort of talk about? It's such a your stat card. You had Keyshawn, Bruce Carrington, obviously Jarrell Miller went viral. But yeah, what anything else you want to add for the card?
Well, yeah, listen, the Carrington fight, again, you've got a fighter there that's very much on the ascendancy. Like the look of him, hits hard, well educated, not in a rush to get to where he needs to be. I'm talking about in the fight, picks his punches well. I'd like to see him, get in the unification series and maybe get a fight with Nick Ball. That would be a boy, just a really good fight to watch. I'd like to see it. A lot of weight divisions now. We got some big fights coming up. There's going to be one or two shocks, I'm sure, along the way. So boxing right now is looking in such a healthy state. Josh Kelly the other day put in a really good seasoned professional performance to win the IBF light welterweight, light middleweight world title. So he's improved immensely. Because if you look at his fight with Kelly, if you know what you're looking at, he's learned how to take breathers in fights. He's learned how to not put so much pressure on himself where he gets the burnout. He's had to learn the hard way. So what you saw in his particular fight, he was boxing in little spurts, little fits, little starts. If he had tried to mix it with that kid, he found out he tasted the canvas at one point, but he got up, he regrouped, and he boxed so intelligently. So it was just a really good, solid performance. And again, when you look at what he actually did, potentially that fight could have gone horribly wrong, but he's learned and he looked good, and now he's world champion.
Mm. I was going to touch on Kelly. Obviously, huge win for him. He becomes Britain's sixth world champion, male active world champion. There's a lot of talk about, potentially him against Jaron Ennis next. What's your thoughts on that fight?
Well, again, if I was him, I'd try and get a couple of defenses in first because, Ennis steps into the shoes of Crawford, who's just retired, the pound for pound king. Boxing now is looking for the next pound for pound king. It's okay being in the pound for pound list. It's okay being in that list, but when you're number one in that list, then that's what separates the good from the great. So, Ennis, if he can, he's going to pick up a version of that world title anytime he's ready, and it could potentially be against your man there. So, if I was him, Josh, I'd want to get in a couple of defenses first because I don't know who beats Ennis. He's that good. He can do everything. He can box. He can hit hard. He likes to force the pace. He's not you don't see him sitting off the back foot. He doesn't look to take rest in fight. You can't rest against him anyway. He's like a surgeon in that respect because he just dissects you to pieces. He chops you up and then he puts you away. Hits good to head, hits good to body. And, that little bit of extra weight that he would have put on now, going into the light middleweight division, boy, he's going to be a menace.
Yeah, absolutely. Duke, it was a crazy weekend of boxing. So yeah, it was good to get your opinions on how it went. And yeah, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I need to get you down my gym because you came down, without your kit, and we did a little bit of filming. So I need to get you down. We'll have a little workout, and I'll put you through your paces. I'll give you some of the old magic, and then you can tell everybody how great or how shit I am.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. Duke, appreciate your time. And yeah, like I say, everyone check out Jukebox on YouTube, Duke's YouTube channel, which is going really well. Subscribe to that, and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, champ. Appreciate you, mate.